Alright, so boom, tell me y'all, don't tell me down. We back at it with another video today. We got Warriors are risking it all with Jimmy Butler. We made a trade, and as I'm recording this video, the trade deadline is over. And this Jimmy Butler trade was the only trade our Golden State Warriors did. Front office, Mike Dunleavy, Joe Lacob, what are y'all doing? There ain't no way that this was y'all plan this whole time just to get Jimmy Butler. And we would literally have Jimmy Butler at home if we being for real. Andrew Wiggins, offensively, honestly, in my personal opinion, I think he got that little bit of an edge on Jimmy Butler. I mean, I just don't see the reason for us trading to get Jimmy Butler. But he did sign an extension with us, so I understand it now because I thought he was going to leave us. I thought Jimmy Butler didn't want nothing to do with us. So I was confused at first why we got him. But since he signed a contract extension, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand it. But at the same time, it's like we should have just kept Wiggins. Like, I feel like all of us loved Wiggins, you know? But let's go ahead and check out the video.
The Warriors did it. They got a superstar teammate for Steph Curry.
But I'm not moved. We're still gonna be garbage and horrible, y'all. Like, this getting Jimmy Butler did not fix our problems. We got so much problems on our team. Like, this one little trade that we just did ain't gonna fix none of our issues at all.
As the Warriors get Jimmy Butler, the Heat get Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. Pistons got Lindy Waters and Josh Richardson, and the Jazz get Dennis Schroeder in a second-round pick.
Okay, so news came out a few minutes ago. Dennis Schroeder's actually not going to Utah no more. He's going to Detroit. This man, Dennis Schroeder, is getting passed around like a blunt. He's getting passed around like a thought. He's getting passed around like, yo, Dennis Schroeder. It's crazy how you said that the trade deadline is like slavery and they just passing you around. Like, oh my God, I feel bad for you, gang.
And Jimmy signs a 2-year, $121 million extension to stay in Golden State, which is huge. 24 hours before, dude said he would not sign an extension there. Like he's trying to cause problems in the locker room before he even joined.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to skip ahead and make sure y'all subscribe to my man's in the description down below. I'm going to leave his channel, but dang, what was I about to say? I was about to say something. Oh, the reason why Jimmy Butler was saying he doesn't want to sign with us, in my personal opinion, this is what I'm thinking. He just wanted to see who was going to give him the money. And we was willing to give him the money that he wanted. The Phoenix Suns, I don't think they was willing to give him what he wanted. So that's why he wanted to come to us.
In the team. But before we get to the potential locker room issues, how did this even happen? Well, the Heat wanted back short-term money. A fan even got to break the news to the players during a game.
Got Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schroeder, and Andrew Wiggins.
This is crazy.
Protected.
So now they can have max cap space in 2026. And the big fish that summer is Luka Doncic, which of course would have sounded insane like a week ago. But now, who knows, right? I mean, the Heat are betting that things go so south in LA that Luka doesn't sign an extension. They will be waiting with a max contract for him. Join Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero in South Beach. But Jimmy wasn't even the Dubs' top pick. But we've been having a ton of success on.
That's what I was trying to tell you. I'm going to skip the ads and all that. It was Kevin Durant. It was this man right here. We wanted KD. And I was trying to tell y'all on my TikTok live yesterday. If KD said yes, he wanted to come, he would have been a Golden State Warrior right now. Jimmy Butler was not plan A. Jimmy Butler was plan B. We would have sent Johnny Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, some picks, and we would have got Kevin Durant. That deal was placed. It was going to happen. Jimmy Butler was going to go to the Suns, and KD was going to come to the Golden State Warriors. But KD stopped that trade. He don't have a no trade clause, but, you know, Kevin Durant, he has that power in the NBA now. You feel me? He's in the NBA, so he has that power, he has that leverage, and he stopped the trade. He said, I do not want to reunite with the Golden State Warriors. So it's crazy.
Dude is 36 off an Achilles tear, but they know he fits with their system. Won 2 championships. But a shocking report. Mark Stein and Jake Fisher said Durant has some serious reservations about a second Warriors stint if he were to be shipped there. Why? Because of Draymond Green. Remember, before KD left to Brooklyn, he and Dre got in a huge fight on the bench. Draymond said to him, "We don't need you. We won without you. Leave." That is the biggest insult KD can receive. We all know he is super insecure about people saying that his championships don't count, that he cheated going to the 73-9 Warriors. So for a teammate to say that to him, oh yeah, the two made up, went on a podcast together. But when it actually came down to rejoining that team, KD said, no, not as long as that guy's there. But KD still has not signed an extension to stay in Phoenix, so he is available. Maybe Houston goes after him, maybe.
And it's not just Draymond Green. I think he doesn't really have a good relationship with Steve Kerr too. The front office. Y'all seen the situation that he was just talking about with Draymond and Kevin Durant on the sidelines. You know, the front office and everybody around that, like the way that they went with the situation, like they didn't handle it properly. So it's a lot of stuff that come with Kevin Durant not wanting to come back to us.
Miami, who
It's
knows?
so much,
but
bro.
Jimmy Butler told Golden State no extension before because he wanted Phoenix. I mean, at first, Jimmy told Miami, yeah, I'll go anywhere but here. But then his wish was Phoenix only. He was trying to scare the Dubs, but the Suns couldn't get it done. No one wanted Bradley Beal's contract. Beal has a no-trade clause anyway, so even if like the Pistons said, yeah, we'll take him, Beal held all the cards. So once Phoenix was impossible, Jimmy opened up to Golden State. But the number one concern, of course, is the locker room. Kevin O'Connor even said this week that according to league sources, Stephen Curry specifically has concerns about Jimmy Butler's fit in the Warriors locker room, and Steve Kerr shares those feelings. When the deal looked dead, a fan said, I'm glad Jimmy's old, childish, and too expensive. So why did they get him? Well, Steph is 36 years old with maybe 2 peak years of basketball left. The Dubs are in 10th place, going nowhere. This summer, they went hard after Lauri Markkanen and Paul George. Both teams wanted Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, or both, and a boatload of picks. So they got Jimmy Butler for just Andrew Wiggins role players in one protected pick. That is huge. Some fans might be angry that they got Jimmy, but you gave up nothing. Okay,
You see, that's what I'm saying. We did it. I literally said that yesterday. He, like, my man's right here who I'm reacting to, his channel is going to be in the description down below. Literally, everything that he's saying, I literally said to y'all on TikTok Live as soon as the trade was announced. Like, we gave up nothing. Nope. Honestly, I don't think nobody won this trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask me, who do you think won the trade, Nate? I'm going to say nobody. Like, we literally had Jimmy Butler at home. I'm going to keep saying it. Andrew Wiggins. Jimmy Butler coming here, I mean, yeah, it gives us a low edge because he has, you know, experience, but Wiggins got experience too. We won a championship with him in 2022, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like we gave nobody to get him. So
All-Stars do not come this cheap. I mean, we just saw Mikal Bridges go for 5 first-round picks. The Warriors front office knew, yo, this opportunity is never going to come again. We get to keep all our young guys, almost all of our picks. And yeah, Jimmy has been a problem for every locker room. I mean, he is great, but on NBA team number 5 now, that's a red flag. But here's a little secret about Jimmy Butler. He is only a problem when his money is in question. I mean, think about it. The Bulls didn't want to pay him, so he wanted to trade. The Wolves refused a max contract, he threw a fit. Sixers paid Tobias Harris over him, and now the Miami thing. I mean, the dude wanted to retire a Heat. And he was great until Pat Riley said no contract. But every time Jimmy's gotten paid, he's been amazing. And the fact that Golden State locked him in for 2 years, I guarantee the next 18 months will be peak Jimmy Butler. So how does he fit on the court? Well, remember, top 2 in the West are OKC and Dallas? Until they intentionally ruin their team. Yeah, Denver's great, but this thing is wide open. So their starting 5 will be Steph, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and I don't know, like Quentin Post or Tracy.
Yeah, it's exactly gonna be this. Or we could switch out Buddy Hield and put Brandon Pod. But honestly, even though I don't like this man play style, like he's been playing horrible. I mean, obviously, last game against Utah, he scored over 15, which was shocking to me. But it's like, I mean, if we get that Buddy Hield, obviously, we're going to have to start him. But I think he's going to be starting either way. I don't think that Brandon Pod is going to be starting. I feel like Brandon Pod, we don't even got Dennis Schroeder no more. So let Pod just be our point guard off the bench. But obviously, Curry starting, Jimmy Butler at the 3, Draymond at the 4. Or even you could do Jonathan Kuminga when he comes back, because Kuminga, honestly, I feel like he starts playing better when he's actually starting on the bench. So, you know, I think Draymond will be fine coming off the bench. So we can either do Kuminga at the 4. And then for spacing, like, post. Because, I mean, yo, if you look at it like this, like, yo, Butler, the spacing is, I ain't gonna count. Like, the spacing is crazy. Like, Butler, just imagine, like, Butler at the 2, Kuminga at the 3, and then Draymond at the 4. Like, that spacing is so horrible. Oh, my God. It just makes me just want to throw up just thinking about that.
Jackson Davis at center, that's a problem. Off the bench, though, Jonathan Kuminga.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Trey Jackson Davis as center, that is a problem. Because, like, you know, post, he's a stretch 5. He's going to, you know, stretch out the floor and all that. So, oh, my gosh. I ain't going to lie. Yo, chat.
Brandon Podziemski. Jimmy is 35 years old with questionable availability and motivation in the regular season. I mean, he hadn't played more than 64 games since 2019. I mean, it got so bad that was the #1 problem for the Miami Heat. But he is a huge finisher at the rim who gets to the foul line, hits a ton of free throws. The big issue is 3-point shooting, with the exception of like a playoff run. I mean, playoff Jimmy is a real thing, but the Warriors are going to have 3 bad
the
shooters.
spacing is not
Jimmy,
it.
Draymond, and Jonathan Kuminga.
I just said that. I literally just said that. I promise y'all didn't even watch this video yet. This is my first time watching it, but it's like, yo, this is literally everything I said yesterday. I literally said all of this on TikTok Live anyway. So it's like, if you was on my TikTok Live, you know I literally said all of this.
Steve Kerr is going to have to stagger their minutes, never play Jimmy, Dre, and JK at the same time. Speaking of that, how is JK going to feel about never closing games? You can't play all of them in crunch time. And maybe by the time you watch this, they have traded Kuminga for an actual center. But the defense is going to be amazing. And the best Golden State teams have always been elite defensively. And half that offensive pressure is taken off of Steph's shoulders. And it's so cool that the Dubs were this motivated to not waste the final years of Steph. And heck yes, that was the right decision. We have seen this dude recently hit the night-night in big moments this year. He won a gold friggin' medal as the best player on a dream team a few months ago. Steph clearly has another championship run in him. He just needed some help. And it was great of Steph to say the other day, oh, we don't have to mortgage our future. I mean, that was so unlike most superstars who throw a fit like, I don't know, Jimmy Butler or LeBron James, but the Warriors had his back. It was a huge sacrifice to let.
Steph is so humble. Like, that's another reason, like, he's just one of my favorite players. Obviously, he's going to be my favorite player because he's playing on my favorite team. But, like, Steph is so humble. Like, he's not going to be going to the front office demanding this player to get traded or something, or, oh, y'all need to go ahead and give me some help. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just going to be humble about the situation and, you know, leave it in God's hands. Whatever happens, happens. Like, man. That's the goal right there.
To get flexibility to make a trade like this. Then they go after Markkanen and PG. Got so desperate, they called the Sixers about PG again. Go after Kevin Durant, but I think Jimmy is amazing. They didn't want one of those lesser stars like a Zach LaVine or a Brandon Ingram or De'Aaron Fox. No offense to those guys, but Jimmy is different. He has carried teams to the finals like Pete Kawhi. And people who are worried about his attitude, no. Whenever he feels appreciated money-wise, which he is now, dude is a beast. So this has been by far the craziest NBA trade deadline of all time. I mean, just look at this. Okay, Jimmy Butler is on the Warriors, Luka to the Lakers, Wiggins on the Heat, AD in Dallas, Zach LaVine's a king, De'Aaron Fox
It's
plays
been a
with
crazy trade deadline,
Brandon
though.
Ingram off to Toronto, Kyle Kuzma's a buck, and Chris Middleton is on the Wizards. That sucks. It's like a whole new NBA. I honestly feel like the Luka deal like motivated all the other front offices to do their trades. They were like, screw it, let's go. But why did the Mavs trade Luka? That started.
But hey, man, hopefully I enjoy the reaction right here. Dubs, Dub Nation, comment down below how y'all feel about Jimmy Butler on the team. And do y'all feel like this is going to help us go to the playoffs? If you ask me, I don't even think we're going to be locked in the playoffs. If anything, we're a playing team at best. It's either play in or out the playoffs for good. So I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens.